Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to week 6 of the Esports Simulation Series League. We are here at Watkins Glen for 35 laps of exciting road course racing. I'm joined tonight by one of our driver owners, Austin Knight, Sr.
More like howdy, howdy, howdy. Yeah, it's great to be here at Watkins Glen International for another round, week 6 of the ESL, and our drivers are packed up on the field right now, and it's road course week, baby.
Yeah, starting on your pole for his first pole of the season, the number 17, Javier Vasquez. Nice run for him coming up, and another driver we've seen on the front row, that number 92, Bobby Leo Moxon, has got another front row start coming here at the Glen. Starting in third, that number 1 car, Antoine Bernoulli, with Aiden Davis starting to his outside.
Yeah, Earl Anderson, that 69 car, he's starting in 5th place with Dustin Scruggs in 6th. Basher and Austin, our championship leader, are starting in 7th and 8th, followed by Zachary Taylor and Casper Hagelstar. And this top 10 is absolutely stacked.
Yeah, and it doesn't surprise me to see all of these drivers up in the top 10. I have to imagine that these guys actually do have somewhat of a qualifying because it doesn't seem super random. It seems like a lot of these drivers are actually qualifying their way up into this series. So it's definitely going to be an interesting start to the race. I definitely look to see that number 92 up in the front all race long. He's always got a really strong car.
Yeah, and the funny thing you mentioned, no qualifying. Qualifying, there isn't any. It's all random, assigned by iRacing per the rules of the league. I know some drivers are not a fan of qualifying, and some drivers want qualifying. Believe a vote will be put up at the end of the season if they want to have qualifying. But they have 2 more corners to go on this pace lap behind the iRacing Porsche pace car. Javier Vasquez leads out the grid, and we're getting ready to go race. And I say it's time to crack open a cold one and get ready for a amazing 50 laps here at the Glen.
Yeah, and as the pace car gets ready, that Porsche pace car gonna duck off onto pit road. It's gonna be in the hands of the number 17 machine. There goes the pace car down pit road. Green flag is in the air. We're racing at Watkins Glen.
Immediately, the 1 car jumps down to the inside of Antonio, and he's going to try to send it up immediately. The aggressive driver showing up, and he gets a big checkup right there. There's a lot of chaos right behind him. Austin Knight goes very wide, but Javier Vasquez, Bobby Leo Moxon leading it out the field. Austin Knight's falling down the field. Their championship leader struggling very hard immediately as they go up to the S-curves.
Yeah, turn 1 is always a doozy. Everybody's still jostling and jiving. Through the S is going to be coming up to the bus stop. This is where we're really going to see who's got the aggressiveness. We're looking at the 210, Austin Knight. He dives down into the bus stop in front of Doug Britton.
Chops off the nose of the 40, trying to gain some ground, and the 40 drops away. Now, these NASCARs, they have a lot of draft on them, so once you get behind somebody, you can get right up onto them and start dancing. That was a horrible sight for your championship leader.
Yeah, he gained that spot, and now he's going to be looking to work his way up. Currently, he's being shown in 10th place, so we'll have to see where he's going.
I believe he's dropped down all the way to 14th after that start. It was a horrendous start by him, but his rival, Gunny, who is in 2nd place in the championship, he's down in 26th right now, and with this gap that Austin has on Gunny, he would still be increasing his points. They go 3 wide ahead of him into turn 1. Very packed grid.
That is not what you want to see, but one thing I will say about that number 68 is he has a record of coming from the back and getting good finishes. So I'll be looking to see that number 68 machine move further and further towards the front of the field as this race goes on.
Yeah, and Gunny's very is very good at moving up the grid, but it's going to be very hard to knock off the 17 of Javier Vasquez, who has got a good 1 second lead above Antonio, right behind him with Bobby Leo Moxon in third. The battle for fourth is going side by side through the final two corners between Earl Anderson and Aiden Davis. And Aiden, he's been on a tear ever since he won his race in, I believe, Charlotte. And I've commentators cursed him right there as he just dropped off 2 spots.
Aiden Davis on the move. He is always a strong one early. Definitely has a little bit of aggressiveness to him, but it definitely pays off. We're taking a look now. Dustin Slider in that 15 machine. He had a good run last week, finishing in 9th place. So he's looking to follow that one up with a great finish here at Watkins Glen, currently running 9th as well. Right in front of the number 210, Austin Knight, your points leader, running 10th now, working his way up past to the inside of Slider. They go through the bus stop, out break. He's not going to do it. He's going to check up. The 15 is going to maintain his position in 9th place for right now, right behind Baxter Craven in the number 7 car.
That was very uncharacteristic by Austin Knight. We never see him go for a lot of moves. He's been known just to hang behind cars and just let his smoothness do the talking. And around Watkins Glen, that smoothness is going to be showing a lot of pace right now. Expect those pit stops to be very crucial here. And side by side,
5 goes in the
oh, big hit. Go into
Frank Wade holds on to that 5 machine, gets into that number 99 machine of Wilhelm Layton, gets in the grass and holds on. He's going to be now in 18th place behind Dan Harrington, that number 82 machine. You see Rocco Stallone there in the 44 and Bustle there in the 85.
Yeah, Stallone at 44 going into the S. There's a slow car in front of him, but there's a giant midfield pack right now. Everybody in the, I would say, top 12 are pulling away from everybody who's just stuck in this train. And it's a very busy train. Looking into the bus, we got 2 cars going side by side. The 99 going a bit wide as Rocco Stallone just trying to get some pace and catch up to that 99 of Wilhelm in front of him.
Yeah, going through the carousel. Harrington's got a run on the 44. As you talked about, there's some draft. He's going to pull out of the line, go try to take that position from him. He's not going to have enough speed, and they're going to go through the final 2 corners. And we're going to go on to lap number 5 of 50.
Yep. 50 laps here today. Much longer race than was originally scheduled. It was originally going to be a one-stop race, but hey, 50 laps here at the Glen. It's going to be a doozy, and it's time for some road course magic as 22 looks down the inside of Brian Delp Jr. and Dougie Zoom trying to pick up the pieces of Dylan in front of him.
Dougie Zoom in that number 33 Twinkie machine has had some hard luck here in the first few races of the season. He's currently last in the point standing, so he's looking to pick up some better positions on this one.
And Dougie zooms it down to the inside. A bit of contact with the 22. Might have some damage over there, but that Twinkie's machine, he's sure trying to set that car on fire right now. And he's holding that outside line, and on the inside, easy pass for Big J.
That was a crazy pass. As we go back to the front, the number 17 has made a 2.5 second lead over Antoine Bernoulli in that number 1 machine. Bobby Leo Moxon still holding on at 3 seconds back, that number 92. But that's where the battle is going to be, is back for P3 and P4 with the 92 and the 69 of Earl Andretti.
And as we're looking at this, look at the positions gained by the Buzzman. Zachariah Logan in 6th place is up 11 spots already. What a start he's had right now, and he's looking very nicely in 6th place. Right behind him is Basher and Austin Knight, and in front of him is Zachary Taylor in that
And
little 3-car group.
it looks like Lawton's going to be taking over Taylor here, looking for that 5th place position.
Wilhelm Layton, that 99, sitting in 16th place currently as they're running down the side chute. A little bit of defending action now. Watkins Glen, the AI, has been updated to defend a lot more aggressively here at the Glen. So it's going to be a lot different than you see drivers usually drive than on an oval. So, might be seeing a lot of guys defend onto the inside, drive straight to the inside. And there's a lot of smoke up front. What's happened ahead of them?
I'm pretty sure that was someone locking the brakes up, getting into the corner, driving a little too aggressive. I've seen that in a few corners through this race so far.
Patrick Manning,
6 lap complete.
the number 9 of Patrick, he's dropped down a lot of spots. We just saw him get overtaken by 3 cars right there coming out of turn 1. That might have been his car, as he's now stuck in a little bit of a group. He's looking down to the inside. Very hard to make a move heading into the bus stop chicane. The outside line is much more preferred. And yeah, Patrick Manning is behind Rocco Stallone, who's being scored as 17th, who's probably up in 16th right now. And he's got the number... I'm trying to see who that is, but I'm pretty sure that will be Dan as well. And Dan will be your new biggest mover if he can get past Patrick Manning right here. Yeah, that's Dan Harrington.
Don't forget, we've got one other driver making moves. The number 48 car, Adam Jones, is up 11 spots from his start. He's the rookie from the Mazda series. So he's looking to put on a great show tonight. Looks like he's running currently P12 right behind Dustin Slater and right in front of Casper Hagelscar, who is
he's
currently 3rd in points at this time.
Yeah, Casper Hagelstar sitting 3rd in points, 39 points behind championship leader of Austin Knight, but he's only 4 points behind Gunny. If this race ended right now, Casper Hagelstar will be taking over 2nd place in the championship, but that lead will still be gaining to Austin Knight. Since Austin is in 8th, and since we're using the NASCAR points, each position is a point. So if this race ended right now, Austin will be extending his lead 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 5 more points. And how crazy his lead is right now. He could finish last this race, and Casper or Gunny could win the race. He would still be in the championship lead. That's how much of a gap he has.
Well, hopefully he doesn't have a catastrophic failure and his lead goes out. There's some more smoke on the racetrack. Looked like that was from the 99 machine. Getting a little hot into the corner. See Eagle Madavi there in that number 88 Camel car. Running currently 19th. Having a good run for himself.
Eagle's been very quiet so far in this season. We've seen him running around, not making bunch of moves, but he's sitting 17th in the championship. Been fairly consistent with his finishes, averaging around 19th where he is right now.
And he's only 83 points behind the lead, so that's about 2 races for these guys to be able to at least get up there into the top 10 area. But yeah,
And speaking of the championship lead, Austin Knight's made a move on Zachary. And after a very poor start from him, he's worked those tires, got them up to temperature, and he's now making moves. And this is what brings... I was talking with Austin. It was a very funny conversation, but he always focuses on his tires and not being aggressive. He prefers the long runs. And as we saw at Kansas in our 2nd race, he had just that extra lap of fuel and extra lap of tires before everybody dove into the pits with 3 laps to go to be able to snatch one of his many 2nd places.
Yeah, that was one of the craziest races I've ever called in my life. And I heard today that the fuel or the pit window is 30 to 35 laps is about when they expect to be pitting. So it'll be an interesting about halfway check to see if we're going to get some early takers on pit road with some pit strategy, or if even if we get a yellow flag to see who comes to pit road first.
Yeah, you are going to get a yellow flag here at the Glen. Automatic yellows are thrown on road courses, but they're only localized cautions like they are in real life. Since Watkins Glen is a massive track, they have time to clear out that area and get cars out of the way. We got a dive down the inside for third place. Antonio Bernoulli trying to defend that spot, but it's Earl and I believe that's the no, it's not
Basher
Earl and Dreddy.
Craven
That's it's Basher Craven up there in a third. Actually, no, Earl and Dreddy is up in a third. Antonio has dropped down to 5th place, but he's trying to hold it around the outside, and he gets that position back.
Zachary Taylor looking to follow him on the outside. That number 7 losing the momentum off that corner. But yeah, Earl and Dreddy move him up to 3rd place. Bobby Leo Moxon is now up to 2nd, but 5.5 seconds up to Javier Vasquez in that number 17 machine, still leading up front.
Yeah, Javier Vasquez leading a massive race right now. Earl and Dreddy locking up the brakes like a smoke show or like a barbecue pit right now. Which great barbecue if you're ever tailgated at Watkins Glen. I've done it a few times. But Earl and Dreddy, oh, those tires not going to like it for that. And just a few more laps, those tires are going to start balding out. And you'll see the guys who have that smoothness stat cranked up. We'll see them have the advantage.
It looks like Earl and Dreddy is catching Bobby Leo Moxon.
He is.
Currently only about half a second or so ahead of each other.
Yeah, Earl and Dreddy closing in. Bobby taking that defensive line down the inside. We've seen that work for a lot of drivers, but it's a very slow entry. But it's going to negate that exit. So Bobby keeping that 2nd place, but now he's got Earl and Dreddy dancing on that gearbox of the 92 in front of him. So watch for Andretti to look down the inside. He might have a little bit of side-by-side heading into the bus stop if he's going to try to go for this move immediately.
And he doesn't have enough space. He's going to look to the inside, but he's not going to have enough closeness there to get on him.
He's just studying him.
Backed up a little bit. Just studying him up.
Yeah. When I raced here, when I raced around, I would study people all the time. Just dance on the bumper, see how they would take a few corners differently, and I would do a little bit of scouting. And as I say that, Austin Knight looks around the outside, has a great exit coming out of the carousel. He's going to go side by side and try to hold it around the outside. And, ooh, he gets pushed wide by Aiden Davis. Stays on the rumble strip right there. Aiden Davis getting the elbows out and throwing a haymaker to Austin Knight, championship leader, who I would believe be throwing him a middle finger at this point.
David Dunwoody looking to take advantage of that and going to the inside of Austin Knight going into turn number 1. Going to see if he can outbrake him. And,
Denied.
And
Denied.
Not do it at all. He is going to keep that car in that position. Running 10th place for a good position for that number 28 machine this afternoon.
Yeah, 10th place, and a position that we've seen, that yellow and black Artesian build Truth Seeker car. I don't know if any of you can read Japanese, but that is what is stapled on the front of Austin Knight's hood. It's the Japanese, it actually says Shin, but it's Japanese for truth. And that is what is on the hood of Austin Knight's car. We've never seen him outside the top 10 or outside the top 5, so this might break that top 5 streak that he's been on since day 1.
And road courses are totally different than oval tracks. They're a lot more technical. You need to use your clutch pedal.
Oh.
David Dunwoody's going off the track.
He hit Knight.
Speaking of that,
he tried turning in on Austin Knight, and he's been sent into the gravel, and he's fallen down the field, and he's going to have a
turns out in the middle of...
Oh, my goodness.
He keeps it straight, but wow. Unfortunate luck for David Dunwoody as he goes for a ride through the trap.
He tried battling with Knight and ended up getting the sword and got pushed way out of the track right there. And, well, if we had an instant replay feature, I can tell you, David just turned in on a 2-1-0 right there. So Austin might have damage from that, but, oh, that is the place that you don't want to do. And that's what defending does on this track. The guy on the inside, if you're on the inside, you're on the outside, don't try to go side by side with them, because if they hit that curb, you're going to get big. And we got a car in the grass in the braking zone. That's Russell Shoemaker.
Yeah, he holds on to it, though. Keeps it going, and he's going to go straight through that carousel. You see right in front of him, Frank Wade running 19th place. He's our 4th place contender right now for the championship. And he's not having the greatest run. We've seen him out in the grass a little bit earlier. But he is working his way back up from the back of the pack. Really be interested to see what pit stops are going to do for these guys and how much position changing we'll see happen with, you know, anybody that stays out for an extra lap or two, what that'll do. So we'll have to see what happens here as we complete lap number 14.
14 is in the books as we start lap 15. Young Ling swinging around the outside of the 11 of Cody. And Cody's not going to be very happy about that one, but he's defending that inside line, and Yang just swung it around the outside. Now he's looking for another move as he's closing in on Dougie Zoom in that Twinkies car.
And I'm taking a look at our field, and there is 3 cars lapped down. Dustin Slider in that 15, Dylan Herviton in that 22 machine, and Ben in the number 21 machine.
Early pit stop.
Ben Shelton is our 5th place runner in the standings, so interested to see what kind of happened there with him.
2nd place in the standings as well. Gunny is about to be lapped. He's 38 seconds off of Javier right now, and he is just, well, he's actually behind a lap. He's actually battling for a lap car, and he gets hit wide, and the 2nd place driver in the championship is off in the gravel, just like we saw.
Just like David Dunwoody, but he doesn't keep it straight.
Oh, he might be stuck there. He might get stuck there. But Gunny spins up the tires.
Straight.
Oh, no. 2nd place in the championship is all the way down to 32nd. He's going to drop not only from 2nd place, he's going to drop all the way to about 3rd place after this. And Frank Wade and Casper Hagelstar, if this race ended right now, they'll jump up into 2nd and 3rd. And I believe the gap between Frank and Casper right now would be about 5 points. Actually, no, that
7.
gap it'll be growing up. Yeah. My dyslexia is thinking that Frank was ahead of Casper, but Casper's sitting in 11th behind Austin Knight right now. And these two have had some heated moments on track. If you ever listen to Austin Knight during the races on ovals, whenever he sees Casper Hagelstar right behind him, he's not very happy of him.
Taking a look at Bobby Leo Moxon, Erlen Andretti had taken 2nd place from him, and Moxon's looking to take it back. 16 laps in here. These guys are the closest battle up front that we can find. The number 17 is way ahead of these guys.
Yeah, Bobby Lou Moxon trying to hunt down Earl Andretti for that 2nd spot. We saw Earl just studying Bobby for a while, and he's made that move up into 2nd place. But now Bobby Lou Moxon, he can just sit behind them and work on his tires. And I say work on those tires pretty well, because as you can already see, a tire line has formed around this track. The dark lines around this track have shown on where this track is very grippy and where has everybody been moving a lot. And it just shows you on how much grip has been lost right now. And I'm gonna say something. Our drivers with the risky pit strategy, I won't be surprised if they start boxing within 3 laps.
As early as lap number 21, he says.
Yeah, lap number
As we go
21.
kind of through the field, we see now Basher Craven currently running in 5th position. And Zachary Taylor in 6th. Aiden Davis in 7th. Zachary Lawton in 8th. And our fast move, we've got a couple of them. Adam Jones, the rookie, up to 9th place in that number 48 machine.
He's up 14 spots ahead of championship leader Austin Knight in 10th place. And behind them in that group is Wilhelm Layton in that 48 actually in that 99. That 48's a lapped car. Actually, no, that 48's Adam Jones.
Yeah, Adam Jones in that number 48 machine and that number 99, both quick movers up here, both up 14 positions. And then Dan Harrington, that number 82, is up 13 from his qualifying spot, or his starting spot. Looks like there's a little bit of damage on the number 40 machine. Some significant front-end damage.
Oh, yeah, he took a big wonk on somebody. Might have hit a car in a braking zone. Surprised he hasn't been called into the pits yet, because that's going to be affecting him a lot on the front straight.
We'll look to see how that number 40 does later on here in the race.
He's struggling to stop that car. Just came straight across the track in front of the 88 of Eagle. And, well, just pretty much became a entire brake check zone right there.
Yeah, we'll see how that car does. Eagle Madavi trying to move his way up. Currently running 15th in that number 88 machine with Dan Harrington, that number 82. He's on the move.
Oh, Dan's looking down the inside. Thought about it, had to back away from it. And Dan Harrington just stays behind the 88, and they can smell blood. They know that Doug has a lot of hood damage, so they ain't going to battle a lot here, but that's what they should do if they want to catch up, because battling with another car is just going to slow you down a lot, which is that aggression stat showing itself right there. And, ooh, looked for a move down the inside. Dan Harrington held that outside line, and that's Patrick Manning now. Challenge. Where did Patrick come from?
I do not know. He just popped into the picture. He's a man on the move. Looking to the inside, looking to the outside. Trying to find a way around the 82.
Laid on the brakes on the outside, the 82. Holding that inside line, but Patrick Manning doing a little two-step round the outside up into 16th place.
Great run for him as we go back up towards our leader, number 17.
10-second lead. He has a 10-second lead, I believe.
A 10-second lead over Earl Andretti in second place.
It's 11 seconds.
Almost a 12-second lead as we complete lap number 20 this time by.
I believe the record for the biggest margin of victory is held by Brian Delp in Michigan, and that was about 10-20 seconds after a phenomenal pit stop. Can Javier Vasquez top that record today?
Well, he just hit 12-second lead over Earl Andretti and Bobby Leo Moxon, who are still battling over that position for P2.
Yeah. But can he hold it on for the rest of the race? Because when this pit stop happens, will he be as quick as he is on new tires, even though he'll be probably the one benefiting it from most? But then again, the lap traffic is going to be a big thing, because when the pit stops happen, it's going to spread out this field a lot. In this battle for second between Bobby Leo Moxon and Earl Andretti's getting a little bit nasty. Earl chops out the nose in the 92 and stays ahead of him in the bus stop.
The interesting thing about them pit stops is we just watched the first 20 laps of racing from fresh tires, and if these guys pit around 30 to 35, we're going to see 20 to 25 laps of green flag racing. So it'll be interesting to see how that all turns out at the end of the race.
Indeed, it will be. And I say we're in store for a big strategy storm right now, as the field is separated away. The tires are fading right now, and I'm going to say this is going to see where the driver's skill comes in to play a lot. These guys know how to go fast on old or fresh tires, and those drivers are going to start moving up through the field. And those drivers with high aggression, low smoothness are going to start falling away. And those drivers with high smoothness and optimism are going to be moving up through the field, as we're seeing Casper Hagelseeker trying to look around the outside of Adam Jones right there and try to catch up to his championship rival of Austin Knight, because Casper and Austin have been near each other mostly, but as we saw in Charlotte, Casper was holding off Austin for second place, and then he finished all the way down in 12th place, and our Daytona 500 winner hasn't seen the top 5 very frequently.
Yeah, we see him up front quite a bit, but his finishes don't show his efforts. So we're looking to see him do a little bit better in this evening. Taking a look at that number 210 machine, your points leader, running 8th place right now. Running right behind Zachary Taylor.
We saw what happened when Austin defended down the inside. He definitely didn't want to go around the outside right there.
Actually, Zachariah Lawton has gotten past Austin Knight for 8th place in that 87 machine.
Yeah, that is Zachariah Lawton.
Away from the 210.
And he's defending on the inside immediately. Now he's got to deal with the Knight on his back end. He's hit that curb, and Austin Knight swings it around the outside. Says, I'll be taking my 8th spot back. Austin started in 8th place, sitting in 8th place, and, well, now he's going back to defending 8th place, unless he can build a gap ahead of Zachariah Lawton and Wilhelm right behind him.
Wilhelm Layton has been your biggest mover so far, up 15 positions from where he started, now cracked the top 10. Started back 25th position. So he just now cracked the top 10 after 23 laps, and he is still moving towards the front of the field. His next target is that number 87 of Zachariah Lawton.
Yeah, Wilhelm was in a massive crash at Charlotte, by the way. He brought out that late yellow, which pretty much threw that race on its head, but he's back in the car, and he's looking pretty feisty.
Looking down, keeping a nice, good conservative line through the S. Out at the last turn, coming down the straightaway. We're almost halfway here, ladies and gentlemen. And the number 17 has got a massive lead. Clean air is everything. But that car has got some power under the hood.
Yeah, nothing illegal, but that gap to Earl Andretti has dropped down to 8 seconds. Earl has kicked the tires and lit the fires now, and he's starting to gain on Javier.
Yeah, down to 8 seconds. And that's how much one car can hold someone up. So we'll have to see what happens now. But with this pit stop, if this 69 is as fast as he is, even with the pit stop, we'll have to see what happens.
We might be looking at our...
He's moving.
Yeah, Earl Andretti living up to his last name's sake, driving like an Andretti, dominating Javier's last time. He just broke into that 10-second barrier, as well as Bobby Leo Moxes. So Javier is definitely got held up by something right there. Maybe a mistake on his own, maybe just being held up by another car, but this is a very big mystery from the 17.
Well, that number 69 just lost over a second on that last lap, so not sure exactly what's happening there. It might be a little bit of back and forth, but now that 69 has got some clean air for a while, I look to see him possibly do a little bit of gaining on that 17 machine.
He definitely is going to be doing a little bit of gaining as we are halfway through this race at the Glen. It was originally scheduled for 35. Oh, Bobby Leo Moxon's off of the bus. Oh, he's in the wall. Our third place runner is in the wall. And he's parked it by the side, and he's going to lose third place now. And he's stuck at the side of the road. This might be disaster for Bobby Leo Moxon, and I think he can't get his car restarted. Oh,
there it is. He's
Bobby
parking it.
Leo Moxon is out of this race.
You've seen it right here first, folks. Through the grass and into the wall goes that number 92 machine.
The tires gave out on him. I can't believe what we just saw right there. He was in clean air trying to catch up to Earl Andretti, went through the bus stop, and oh, it is so unfortunate for Bobby Leo Moxon. He was looking so good.
That's gonna make this the battle for third between Antoine Bernoulli and Basher Craven in that number 7 machine, who has been a rocket ship all day. Started in 7th position, has worked his way up to 4th, and now has his sights set on this number 1 machine in 3rd.
Oh, Basher slamming it into the bus stop. You see how much track he just gained right there?
He is a rocket ship right now. That car looks like it is super fast, as he's going to look to the inside of the number 1 machine.
Well,
going down as we're going to take the S's.
We've seen this end up very badly, and Craven got into the grass of the brake zone, but
he holds on, and he's moving.
What a move by Basher Craven. He was sideways on corner entry, and he drifted around the outside of Basher Craven to get up in the third. Actually, no, that was Basher Craven making the move. And now Antoine Bernoulli defending hard from Aiden Davis, and I believe all of his supporters are getting their horns up in this battle for 4th place.
I have to wonder if there's something else that happened in that race car on that moment, because that one lost a lot of ground on that part.
I think shock and awe. Those are the two things.
I think he was a little nervous, because that that was pretty crazy of a move by Basher Craven. Definitely an aggressive move by that number 7, but it's got him up to 3rd place, and he's now going to be trying to catch the number 69, who's 10 seconds behind the number 17, but 7 seconds in front of these guys.
He first has to clear Basher, who's back on his bumper now. He first has to clear Antoine. I'm sorry, I'm getting my names mixed up. My eyes are going all over the place. But yeah, Basher Craven trying to max out that pace and get clear of Antoine Bernoulli right behind him and get clear of that draft zone. And that's going to be a very hard ask right now, because we know on how fast Antoine is. But he's got Aiden Davis right behind him, so he might be thinking that Aiden can provide a little bit of a struggle. And Aiden's looking down that inside line in the S's, and we don't really see a lot of moves going on in the S's because it is so tight but very fun through there. And Antoine is looking like he's just going to stay with him through the bus stop chicane. And we've seen one driver hit another driver already through the bus stop chicane, following them because of a missed braking point. We might be seeing that again, especially when these tires are falling off, as pit stops for our main drivers should start very soon. Javier Vesquez back up to 12.8 seconds in the lead.
And these guys, yeah, he's way out front. That number 17 machine got some gold wheels on it this evening with that breast cancer awareness paint scheme.
Very nice touch right there. Ooh, very questionable line through the S's though. A little bit of a mistake right there. But he's allowed to make little small mistakes. He's 12 seconds in the lead. He can relax a little bit.
Yeah, Earl Andretti out there kind of just running all by himself. And then why not? We'll go through the field here for a minute while we're waiting for pit stops. We've got that Earl Andretti running second, and the number 69 machine, and he is 12 seconds back from the number 17. Then we go back to third place, and that number 7, Basher Craven, having a great run for himself today, trying to catch up to that number 69, and Antoine Bernoulli. He's been up front since the start of this race, and he is putting on a great performance as well. Go back on to fifth place. We have that number 3.
Aiden Davis, he's actually ahead of that group. He made 2 overtakes in the start of this lap, and Aiden Davis now sitting in third.
Wow, would you look at that quick? The 3 moves ahead, and I think these tires are starting to go, so if you can hit your line and you can lean on that tire a little bit, we're starting to see the aggressive drivers moving towards the front. So Aiden Davis now up to third, but in the 6th place we have that number 24, Zachary Taylor, having a great drive for himself. He's running 18th in points, so he's having a great run for that number 2014. Austin Knight, your points leader, running 7th place. One spot up from his starting position at the moment. And right behind him, that number 99 machine, Wilhelm Layton, up 17 positions from his starting spot in 8th place. That 99 machine is on the move. He's got Zachariah Lawton behind him, and that number 87 machine, and Casper Hagelskar in that number 18 car running out your top 10.
Yeah, Casper sitting in that top 10 right now. He's under pressure by Rocco Stallone, who's trying to hold it around the outside here at the carousel. Casper cuts off the nose right there, and now he's defending on the inside. Rocco's going to be like Rocky, try to swing around the outside, but thought about, decided not to. That 18th stays in 10th place. And as we enter lap 31 here at the, lap 30 here at the Glen.
Yeah, and as we move a little bit further, 30 laps complete, 20 more laps to go. Rocco Stallone in that number 44 machine running 11th, looking to take over 10th again. It's going to go to the outside. And then we see Adam Jones in that number 48 machine. He's going to move his car up to 11th place.
Jonesy
having a great run for himself this afternoon. In 13th, we have the number 88 machine. That's Eagle Madavi, having a really awesome, strong run for him. And right behind him, 4th place in points, at number 5, he's looking to the inside, Frank Wade, trying to make it too wide through the bus stop. 15th is that number 9 machine. Oh, it's not. It's the number 82 of Dan Harrington. He's going to be now running 9th place.
And David Dunwoody's in a fight right behind him in 17th. And we're just watching him, actually. He's been overtaken right there by 2 cars, it looks like. So very bad few corners for him. That's a 27 of Big J in front of him, and the 9 of Patrick Manning. So Patrick Manning's dropped down. Big J has jumped up, and well, score tables are having a nightmare right now as Patrick Manning defending on the inside gets overtaken around the outside by Dan Harrington.
Actually, that was Big Dog James in that number 27 machine, taking over Patrick Manning in that number 9. That's a battle for 16th place.
I'm a little bit too used to my overlays where it live tracks the positions of drivers and it automatically jumps up there. Big James sitting very comfortably in 16th now. So we're looking at our driver. He was in the gravel pit earlier, but Gunny, he's starting to close in that gap. I feel like he got the a little bit of a shakeup right there, And once he got his head cleared, he's got his mind in the zone, and Gunny's starting to put down some lap times right now. He might have already gone into the pit lane. Speaking of the pit lane, it's a pit lane party.
Oh man, it looks like a bunch of guys coming in. There are some cars staying out. There's Earl Andretti pulling out of the pits already. Looks like he was one of our first
There
stoppers.
goes
Aiden
Aiden David.
Davis, Basher Craven, Antoine Bernoulli, all making pit stops. Lap number 33.
Great jobs by these guys, pit crews. But now we have the fresh tires, and now we can see some action, some good old hard knocks racing. But these tires are going to be cold. Watch out for some mistakes by some guys being a little bit over aggressive. Antoine Bernoulli sitting in 5th place, but some drivers did stay out, so our timing tower might not be the most accurate at this point as everyone shuffles through their pit stops. But Antoine Bernoulli, very good pit stop, and the 7 of Basher Craven trying to get back ahead of him for net 4th place, as these guys nose to tail with each other. They're going to go side by side heading into this right-hander. This right-hander is very tricky. Basher Craven, we saw him doing this earlier. He's going to do it again. Round the outside once again of Antoine Bernoulli, but this time he wasn't sideways when he did it.
Yeah, Javier Vasquez not shown to have pitted yet. We'll have to see.
No, I think he did go into the... I believe he already went into the pits. He was just so far in the lead that he was already out of pit lane when everybody else...
Did everybody pit on the exact same lap? I know I seen a few cars stay out.
The cars that stayed out were a lap down or went into the pits earlier, which I believe what Gunny did, because his pace has been pretty much going on. And as our timing tower updates, I think we should see Gunny jump up a few spots right now, as some drivers are still in the pits. And nope, Gunny has just entered the pit lane once more. Then, as I said that, he's past the pit lane. So
Gunny running 30th place.
Yeah,
having not a good time here on this road course.
No, I think he's going to be looking forward to Martinsville. Because he's going to be dropping... Oh, my goodness. He's going to be dropping 24 points to Austin Knight, who's up in 6th place. And that's going to just be throwing his championship hopes out the window. Unless Austin Knight catches on fire, falls down a hill, and the entire state of Texas disconnects from the earth.
Now, with these fresh tires, we go back up to the number 69 machine. Currently gaining on your leader, now closing the gap to 8 seconds with these fresh tires. Going to be coming to 15 laps to go when we cross the stripe this time by. Do you think that number 69 machine's got enough to catch that 17?
We've seen him make up places through the field. We've seen him have the pace to catch up on old tires. Now he's on fresh tires. I think it's time to give a little bit of Earl Andretti some love, because I feel like he is sitting a dark horse right now. 8 seconds behind Javier Vasquez with just 15 laps. I had to do some quick math right there. 15 laps left in this race. I believe we're going to have a race to the finish, because Earl Andretti is gaining about 0.2 a corner right now on Javier.
I see that almost down to 7.5 seconds now, the gap between the 17 and the 69. And that doesn't negate at all the performance of this number 17 machine. Started up front on the pole and has absolutely dominated this race so far. 36 laps in. And he is still 7.5 seconds ahead of P2, who is about 5 seconds ahead of P3 as well. So these two definitely fast cars pulling away.
Yeah, the guys who got into the front of the field now just putting the pedal to the metal and letting their practice time show as we see Earl Andretti. I think this is the first time we've went to a shot that saw a car within the same camera shot as Javier Vasquez right now. He's down to 7.7 seconds and closing in 7.4. That time is falling down. 14.476 last lap for Earl Andretti. Comes across the line with a 16.960. Not the dominated 2 seconds a lap slower. What was Javier's last time? 16.993. So 0.3 faster that lap. And over 2.3 seconds in total gained on Javier. Patrick Craven in that 4th place car. He's starting to build up a gap to Antoine Bernoulli right behind him. And who's sitting in 5th place. But actually, there's some laps cars on track right now. Or Basher has just been... he's just dropped down the field. Because it's showing him at 4th. But I do not see Austinite anywhere near him. And that extremely vibrant car of his.
I see it very clearly.
Oh, no, there he is. I'm just
he's
blind.
gained a few spots. He's in 4th currently. He's got a few lap cars in between him.
Okay, I was focused on a lap car then.
Lap car there is the number 21, Ben Shelton.
And that I believe that's Rhett as well in that 32.
Yeah, the rookie, Rhett Sawyer, in that number 32 machine, one of his first of 2 contract races for winning the Mazda Series. So, lucky chance for him to come and race with these guys. Earl Andretti now 5.5 seconds back from the number 17. He is gaining. Can he catch him?
This is going to be very exciting at the end for Earl Andretti. 5.5 seconds, and Aiden Davis is now closing in as well. He's under the 10-second gap. We might have a sprint to the finish on some brand spanking new tires. Aiden Davis knows how to run with the bulls right here.
Yeah, and if he ends up running into any lap traffic or anything like that coming up, especially with pit stops and how things went, it could make things very, very interesting.
Yeah, Aiden Davis, I think he's running a little bit faster than Earl Andretti now. And the one thing that Earl doesn't want is if Aiden Davis catches up to him on the run up there, and he hasn't caught up to Javier, this might slow up Earl Andretti. But if Aiden Davis doesn't start fighting with Earl, we might have a 3-way fight for the lead.
That'll be interesting, but Earl Andretti almost 4 seconds back now from the 17. He is catching up almost 2 seconds a lap, or at least a full second a lap. So it's getting very, very interesting very quickly. Aiden Davis catching the number 69 as well. 7.5 seconds back from your leader.
The funny thing is, Earl Andretti, he finished on the 2nd screen in our practice session yesterday. So he obviously watched some film of other drivers on how they're taking this track, and he's gotten much faster within a day because he's within 4 seconds now, 3.9 to Javier.
That is the beauty of iRacing. You can practice your heart out, and you can figure out what you got to do. Now 3.5 seconds separates him and the leader, and 5.8 seconds separating Aiden Davis. I have to wonder what's going on with that number 17 machine.
It's probably what, as I said from yesterday, with Earl Andretti, he has done improvement, but Javier, he was 3rd from last. He finished that practice in 33rd in that practice time with a with a fastest lap time of a 1:14.956. So this might be showing the cracks in what he was able to do yesterday, showing right now. He's probably not going to be able to keep that pace for long, and he's just been a little bit rough on his tires. And so he's got to get his head in the game right now and try to not focus on the mistakes and try to keep those tires alive and just connect these corners, because Earl Andretti is coming.
Coming across the line, 10 more laps to go here at Watkins Glen for the Esports Simulation League. Javier Vasquez in first place, but Earl Andretti and that number 69 machine chasing him down. 4.4 seconds now the gap.
Lost time.
And closing.
Might have had a mistake through the bus stop. But Earl Andretti is being caught by Aiden Davis now. So the top three closing in on each other.
Baxter Craven running fourth with Antoine Bernoulli fifth. Austin Knight and Casper Hagelscar sixth and seventh.
Austin's got a 10-second gap on
Zachary
on
Taylor in eighth. Adam Jones, the rookie, in ninth. And Eagle Madabi rounding out your top 10.
That top 10 changes almost weekly, but if Austin doesn't get into the top 5, that streak that he's been on for 5 straight weeks, he has never seen a position outside the top 5 so far this season. He's closing in on Antoine Bernoulli ahead of him, so he's desperately looking to make a move to keep that top 5 streak alive. And I think this was his 3rd start within the top 10. And he might be one of the best qualifiers here in the ESL.
Yeah, he has got 2 poles along with Casper Hagelscar, who's also got 2 poles. But he's definitely got the win over top of him. But yeah, 5 top 5s, and his average start is 6th place. 6th place for an average start. That is just crazy.
Average finish, 2nd. 3 second places, 1 4th place, and a win last week for the 2-1-0 for Austin Knight.
You see Zachary Taylor trying to chase down the number 18 machine of Hagelscar. Coming up through the S's.
Zachary looking down the inside of Casper. This could get a little bit nasty. Casper looking a little very twitchy on the brakes. Shot the nose of the 24, forcing Zachary to jump over that curb right there. And Casper holding off for 17th. And Antoine Bernoulli is slowed up a lot because Austin is on his bumper. But Casper defending on the inside. We've seen this end up badly if you stay side by side through this corner. And Zachary Taylor, he's seen what happens. So he's just going to back up, let Casper have that spot, try to get him on the front straight.
We look back, Javier Vasquez starting to pull back away from Earl Andretti, while Aiden Davis starts to close in on him.
He's got a lap car in front of him now. Javier might be affected by this lap car.
Dylan Herviton in that 22 machine in front of that 17. We'll see if that slows him up just a little bit here. But currently 6 seconds ahead of that number 69.
7 laps to go. 6 seconds with lap traffic. This is looking good for Javier, but he can't. Oh!
There's a wreck in front of your leader!
There's a car on fire. That's the 86!
It's Richard Pratchard.
Oh, and this is going to be very disastrous. Not only
that
for
was
Richard.
Right in front of your leader.
That wasn't a car on fire. It was just in the gravel, but look at the damage on the 86. He managed to keep that car rolling, but he's driving without a bumper right now.
Did that slow your leader up?
Oh, it definitely is going to be slowing him
see
up, especially if he catches him in the bus stop. He's not going to hold him
Under
up so
5
far.
seconds now, back to Earl Andretti.
This is where he's going to hold him up.
There.
Yeah, Javier's visibly a lot slower. 4.3. He's lost 7/10 to Earl Andretti just from that bus stop. He is visibly a bit more cautious behind that lapped car with a lot of damage. And Earl Andretti's taking no prisoners. He is charging through the gap. He's getting information from his spotter that Javier has traffic and he needs to get going. 4.2 seconds. 5 laps to go here at the Glen. For
6 more laps to go.
I'm bad at math. Now it's 5 laps to go.
No, it's lap 45 of 50, so there's 6 to go.
I'll just stay over here and continue talking whatever I think, okay?
6 laps to go here. Javier in the midst of trying to get around lap traffic. Doing it in the S-curve. He's going to get around Rich Pratchard.
Well, that held him up a lot now. But now that he's got past him, Earl Andretti has to deal with Pratchard now, which is all advantage Javier now with 6 laps to go.
Clean air for Vasquez. Earl Andretti got 1 lap car in between him and the 17, and Aiden Davis working his way up, falling back from the number 69 machine. He was 2 seconds back. Now he is a few seconds back. Still holding on to that number 3 position.
3.7 seconds. Earl Andretti. 5 laps to go. Yes, 5 laps to go. Check my math. And he is starting to slow up on Javier. Now that Javier has that clean air, that lap car might have looked like a curse, but it might have been a blessing in disguise as our battle for the last spot in the top 5 between Austin Knight and Antoine Bernoulli, they're bumper to bumper. And Austin Knight's looking around the outside of the number 1. Antoine holding the inside line. Austin Knight back into 5th place. And back into his top 5 where he knows so well. What a nice move by the 210.
Yeah, that was a nice move around the outside of Antoine Bernoulli. Bernoulli used to be that number 19 machine, now running the 1 car. And he's having a pretty good performance for himself. He's still running in the top 10. He's got Casper Hagelscar looking to his inside now through the bus stop.
And this is officially the longest race of the Esports Simulation League. And I'm going to be honest, I think a lot of these drivers are going to be thankful for it because this race has been extremely exciting.
Yeah, it has been, and there's still 4 seconds separating 1 and 2. So I really think Javier Vasquez has got this one in the books as long as he doesn't have anything crazy happen in front of him.
You just cursed him so hard.
I think he's going to be ready to go, and he's got 4 seconds. He's keeping a good buffer between him and Earl Andretti. Aiden Davis still hasn't caught Andretti. I think these guys' tires are kind of just leveling out. So we'll have to see what happens as we get ready to come to 3 laps to go next time by.
And that was one of the things going into this race. When we saw the schedule, we knew that Watkins Glen was going to be one of those races that was just going to provide with that excitement because it's the only road course on the calendar. And as we head into Martinsville next week, if Javier is able to get this win, he will be the 6th different winner so far in the Esports Simulation League. And I believe he will. Javier's led every lap in this race, right? Yeah, Javier has led every lap in this race. So, our first start to finish winner, I believe, the only other person I believe who would start and finish in this was Casper Hagelseeker at Daytona, where he started and finished in the lead, but that lead did have some changes. This will be our first. Every single lap of the race has been led by Javier Vasquez here at Watkins Glen, as Earl Andretti's now catching up to that lap traffic with that damage. So he's going to be visibly slow, and there it is right there through the carousel. The visible dirty air hurting him a lot.
Yeah, and it's surprising to me that he's not hurt that much by that damage. He's been in between these guys for quite a few laps now. 4.5 seconds the gap between the 17 and the 89, but popsicle sticks are in the air. 2 more laps to go. 2 more circuits here, and Javier Vasquez is going to be our 6th winner in the Esports Simulation League. 5 seconds now the gap back to Earl Andretti. Aiden Davis running 3rd, Basher Craven in 4th, Austin Knight running 5th, Antoine Bernoulli in 6th, Casper Hagelscars in 7th, Zachary Taylor's in 8th, Adam Jones 9th, and Eagle Madavi is rounding out your top 10.
Yeah, that top 10. Some familiar names in there. Some names are absolutely brand new. And I would say the 2 names up at front, Earl Andretti and Javier Vasquez, are the newest names we can add to our top 5 finishers. Yeah, Earl Andretti, his highest finish was only in a top 10, so this would be his first top 5 finish. And Javier Vasquez, I'm looking at his finishing. He's only finished once in the top 10, and I believe with the final lap coming up right now, he's going to be looking up at not only his first top 5, but his first win this season, as it's white flag in the air.
Yeah, 1 more lap to go, 1 more circuit for this number 17. As you said earlier, he's led all 50 laps, looking to lead the most important one. He's got some lap traffic in front of him. Hopefully they don't have any issues as he goes into the bus stop. He's 4.5 seconds ahead of Earl Andretti in that number 69 machine. He's done a great job of keeping a good buffer between him and second place. And as he goes through the carousel, he's only got 3 more turns to make, and he's going to be known as the winner here at Watkins Glen.
Now that Javier has led 50 laps, 2 corners ago, he does not have the record for the most laps led overall. That record still belongs to Aiden Davis at 65 laps, but Javier has had the most distance in the lead. 1 corner to go underneath the sprint sign, and your 6th different winner in the Esports Simulation League is Javier Vasquez.
Earl Andretti coming home in 2nd place, Aiden Davis 3rd, Bashan Craver 4th, Austin Knight pulls out that top 5 that he was hoping for
The
in
streak
that number
lives on.
210 machine. Antoine Bernoulli 6th, Casper Hagelscar 7th, Zachary Taylor in 8th, Adam Jones 9th, Eagle Madavi 10th, Dan Harrington finishes in 11th, Rocco Stallone 12th, Big Dog James in 13th, Wilhelm Layton in 14th, David Dunwoody finishing 15th. I think I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I don't think the David Dunwoody's actually finished quite yet.
Yeah, they haven't came across the line. There's a massive gap, about 10 seconds between the top 7 and then 8 cars behind them. But everyone
There
after the
it
field,
is.
there they go. Here's our final results now. Dunwoody in 15th with Patrick Manning in 16th, followed by Cody in that 11 car. He's going to be finishing right behind him in 17th. Dougie Zoom, I think this is the highest position we've seen Dougie Zoom have.
Yeah, great finishing positions. 18th for Dougie Zoom there. Frank Wade finishing 19th, Fox Highwind in 20th, Russell Shoemaker in 21st, Michael Bussell 22nd, Jamie Dobbs in 23rd, Rusty Camoli 24th, and Brian Delp Jr. in the 25th position.
Yeah, behind Roberto in 26. Gunny drops away from the second place in the championship. It drops down to, I believe, 4th now. Disastrous race. He's going to be looking to make a good, have a good race next week at Martinsville. We're going to short track racing. He's finished in 27th. Ewing in 28th, followed by Rich P and Doug in 29th and 30th.
Yeah, well, that is going to do it for us tonight. For everybody here at Esports Simulation League, thanks for coming out and joining us. We'll see you next week when we go short track racing at Martinsville.